and welcome to BASECAMP, the best way to start your day. I'm Jack, and I'm really glad that you joined us. BASECAMP is a tool that helps you develop the habit of spending daily time with God. And in the last BASECAMP, Yahweh, the Lord, did another miracle. He turned bitter, gross water into something that was good to drink with just a piece of wood. This showed the people that God is still on their side. He is still the hero of the story, and he is still the provider and still in control. But as we'll quickly see, not all the Hebrew people believe that this is still the case. They doubt God, and they think that they're gonna die, and they regret leaving Egypt. Go ahead and open up your Bible to Exodus chapter 16. We're gonna be looking at the first 12 verses today, and I'll read some and then have you guys read some, and so that's how it'll work today. Verse 1 says this: Then the whole community of Israel set out from Elim and journeyed into the wilderness of Sin, between Elim and Mount Sinai. They arrived there on the 15th day of the second month, 1 month after leaving the land of Egypt. So the people of Israel have left Egypt, crossed the Red Sea on dry land, and now have arrived at Mount Sinai a month later. Now, we're not going to get into this today, but on this mountain, on Mount Sinai, a lot of really, really cool things happen. We'll get into that later on in Exodus. But one thing we do know about where they are now in the world is that it's a desert. So don't think this is the Rocky Mountains with snow caps and all these crazy things happening, or the Swiss Alps with all kinds of snow and wildlife and all these things. It looks something like this: desert. No plants, no trees, just dirt and mountains and more dirt, as far as the eye can see. And I don't know about you guys, but I love my comfort a little too much sometimes. I love my bed. It is so comfy. I love my food. It's so tasty. I love AC in the summertime when it's hot outside, and the heat in the winter when it's cold outside. I love hot showers and a cold drink and all the things that come with being home. Well, the Hebrew people have left home. Even though home was a place where they were slaves, it was still home for them. It was what they knew and what they were comfortable with. And they're not too happy about leaving their home. And this is what happens in verses 2 and 3. It says this: There, too, the whole community of Israel complained about Moses and Aaron. If only the Lord had killed us back in Egypt, they moaned. There, we sat around pots filled with meat and ate all the bread we wanted. But now, you've brought us into the wilderness to starve us all to death. This is what the Hebrew people are saying. They're saying that they wish that the Lord had killed them back in Egypt, because at least then they would have died fat and happy. Could you imagine being Moses and Aaron, the people that followed God's commands and led them through the Red Sea and all these different things? Could you imagine hearing that and being like, come on, guys, did you not see all the stuff that the Lord did to deliver us from Egypt? All the 10 plagues that happened, providing a guiding light of fire by night and smoke by day, opening up the Red Sea for us so that we could walk across on dry ground, and then it to swallow up the enemy coming behind us. Like, come on, guys, you'd rather go back to what that was when the Lord is leading us this way? That sounds crazy. And it does sound crazy to us. But if you were one of those Hebrew people, if I were one of those Hebrew people, wouldn't I be thinking the same thing? Aren't we often so quick to be like, God, you can't help me through my trial. You can't provide for me when my families are going through tough times. You can't make me happy again when I'm depressed. God, you can't. God, you can't. God, you can't. We say those words all the time, but they should never be used together. Because God can do whatever he pleases. And what he pleases to do here in our story, and always, is to provide for his people. Go ahead and read verses 4 through 12. These ones will be on the screen for you. The Lord is going to do what? He's going to give them meat to eat in the evening and bread in the morning. He's going to do this in the middle of the desert. That is awesome, first of all, and incredibly crazy to think about. I kind of wish that's how my prayers worked sometimes. Like, ooh, God, I pray that it would stop raining so much so that my backyard wouldn't be as muddy and my dog wouldn't get so dirty. And Lord, please will that happen? And it would just happen. That'd be pretty cool. Or God, please, please, please let the Browns win the Super Bowl. It would be kind of awesome, God. And if it would just do that, like, that would be so cool. But God is promising that he'll provide something kind of in that way. The people are asking and pleading God. They're like, we're hungry, we're starving, please give us food to eat. And he's gonna do that. But how? Are a bunch of cows just gonna stroll up each night and they're gonna eat those? Are chicken gonna start growing on trees for them to pluck and eat some chicken wings? Or are pigs finally gonna fly and meat will fall from the sky? Well, you're gonna have to wait till next time and tune into the next episode of Base Camp to find out.